a private island with its own submarine, a Victorian sea fortress you can rent for yourself. These places might sound like something out of a movie, but they're real. From hidden islands in the Pacific, to mountain retreats where billionaires quietly negotiate billion-dollar deals. Secret hideaways the world's richest people would rather keep off the map. 1. North Island, Seychelles. In the warm turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean sits one of the most exclusive islands on Earth, North Island in the Seychelles. At first glance, it looks like a tropical paradise straight out of a postcard. But this isn't just another luxury resort. It was designed specifically for privacy. The entire island covers around 250 acres, yet it holds only 11 villas. That means fewer than 50 guests can stay here at one time. Imagine that for a second. An entire island with fewer people than a small apartment building. Each villa is massive, ranging between roughly 450 and 750 square meters. Inside, guests find private plunge pools, open-air showers, and sunken bathtubs carved from natural materials like reclaimed wood and rosewood. Everything is built to blend into the surrounding landscape. Luxury here isn't flashy. It's quiet, natural, and incredibly private. North Island's history goes back to the early 1800s, when settlers first established a plantation on the island. But by the late 20th century, the land had been abandoned and largely forgotten. Then in the late 1990s, investors stepped in with a bold vision. They removed invasive species, restored native plants, and reintroduced wildlife. Today, giant Aldabra tortoises wander freely across the island. Rare birds fly through the forests. The entire place functions almost like a protected sanctuary. The owners even describe it as a Noah's Ark for conservation, wrapped inside one of the world's most luxurious resorts. Getting here isn't simple. Guests must fly by helicopter from the main island of Mahé. There are no roads, no ferries, just a 15 to 30-minute helicopter ride over the ocean. And that isolation is exactly the point. North Island enforces a strict no-photography policy. Not suggested, required. The idea is simple. When powerful people arrive here, they disappear completely. Over the years, celebrities and world leaders have quietly visited. George Clooney and Amal Clooney even spent their honeymoon here. Of course, that level of privacy comes at a price. Staying on North Island starts at around $15,000 per night. And if someone wants the entire island to themselves, they can buy it out completely. For the world's richest travelers, the real luxury here isn't the villas or the beaches. It's something far rarer: peace and anonymity. 2. Necker Island, British Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, another famous private island, tells a very different story. Necker Island, owned by entrepreneur Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. Today the island is one of the most recognizable billionaire retreats in the world. But when Branson first discovered it in the 1970s, it looked nothing like the luxury destination it is today. At just 28 years old, Branson made a bold offer: $100,000. The owner rejected it immediately. But Branson didn't give up. After months of negotiations, he eventually purchased the undeveloped island for around $180,000. Then he spent years transforming it. More than $10 million went into building villas, infrastructure, and guest facilities. Over time the island evolved into a tropical playground for celebrities, entrepreneurs, and world leaders. But Necker Island hasn't had an easy journey. A major fire destroyed parts of the property in the 1980s. Then Hurricane Irma devastated much of the island in 2017. Each time, Branson rebuilt it even better. Today the island incorporates solar power and wind turbines, aiming to become nearly carbon neutral. Necker Island now hosts up to 48 guests across several luxury villas and Balinese-inspired houses. Private pools overlook the ocean. Tennis courts are lit for nighttime matches. Guests can sail, scuba dive, kite surf, or simply relax by the beach. And unlike most billionaire retreats, the owner sometimes shows up. Branson is known for playing tennis with guests or joining them for water sports, which means visitors occasionally get something money normally can't buy: access to one of the world's most famous entrepreneurs. Guests usually arrive by boat from nearby islands like Tortola or Virgin Gorda. There's no runway, no commercial traffic, just the Caribbean Sea surrounding 74 acres of private paradise. Over the years the guest list has included everyone from royalty to Hollywood icons. Princess Diana visited with her sons. Barack and Michelle Obama spent time here after leaving the White House. Mariah Carey has vacationed on the island. Booking the entire island starts around $17,000 per night. And during peak seasons, exclusive rentals can reach much higher. For many visitors, though, Necker Island represents something beyond luxury. It's an experience, a private escape designed by one of the most adventurous billionaires alive. 3. Loikala Island, Fiji. Deep in the South Pacific lies one of the most extraordinary resorts on Earth. Loikala Island in Fiji. Unlike many luxury destinations, this island operates almost like a self-contained world. 90% of the food served here comes directly from the island itself. Vegetables grow in organic gardens. Fish come from surrounding waters. Even livestock is raised locally. The island spans roughly 3,500 acres. And across that massive landscape sit only 25 villas. Some rest above the ocean on stilts. Others sit hidden among jungle hillsides. Every villa includes a private pool, expansive views, and personalized service. But Loikala has something no other resort in the world offers. A private submarine. Yes, a real submarine. Guests can descend beneath the ocean and explore coral reefs from inside a luxury deep-sea vessel. The submarine alone cost nearly $2 million. Reaching the island requires a private flight from Fiji's main international airport. The resort operates its own aircraft to bring guests in. Room rates start around $5,000 per night. But the Hilltop Estate, the most exclusive villa on the island, can cost over $45,000 per night. The names of guests are rarely revealed. And that's exactly why the ultra-wealthy love it. 4. Mustique, Caribbean's private celebrity playground in the Caribbean. There is an island where paparazzi simply do not exist. Mustique. This 400-acre private island in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has one rule above everything else: privacy. You cannot buy a day pass. You cannot simply visit. To set foot here, you must either own a villa or rent one. The island's modern story began in 1958 when British aristocrat Colin Tennant purchased the island. Was simple: create a sanctuary for the world's elite. Soon after, Tennant gifted Princess Margaret a 10-acre plot of land as a wedding present. That moment changed everything. When British royalty started vacationing here, Mustique quickly became a secret playground for the global elite. Rock stars followed, movie stars arrived, and soon the island's reputation was sealed. Today, Mustique contains about 120 luxury villas scattered across lush hills and quiet beaches. Many were designed by legendary architect Oliver Messel. Each home blends Caribbean charm with extreme privacy. There are 9 beaches across the island. Macaroni Beach is famous for quiet picnics. Jelicieux Bay offers spectacular snorkeling. And the Cotton House, the island's only hotel, contains just 17 rooms. Even the island's social life remains discreet. Basil's Bar, a famous beachfront restaurant, has hosted musicians, celebrities, and world leaders for decades. And every year, the Mustique Blues Festival quietly draws global performers to this hidden island. Getting here requires effort. Visitors typically fly to Barbados or St. Vincent, then board a small charter plane. The final flight takes about 20 minutes. But before landing, every arrival must be approved. The guest list over the years reads like a Hollywood Hall of Fame. Mick Jagger owns a villa. Tommy Hilfiger has property here. David Bowie once had a home on the island. Weekly rentals can exceed $100,000. But for the world's most recognizable people, that price buys something priceless, disappearing from the public eye. 5. Fisher Island, America's most exclusive zip code. Just 3 miles from Miami Beach sits one of the wealthiest residential communities in the United States. Fisher Island. Despite its proximity to Miami, the island feels like another world. There are no bridges connecting it to the mainland. No public roads, no tourists. The only ways in are private ferry, helicopter, or yacht. And even then, you must be invited. The island's history dates back to the early 20th century. At one point it belonged to William Vanderbilt II. Over time, the island transformed into one of the most exclusive private communities in America. Today Fisher Island covers about 216 acres. Luxury condos and mansions overlook the Atlantic Ocean. A private beach imported from the Bahamas stretches across the shoreline. Residents enjoy a 9-hole golf course, 18 tennis courts, marinas for superyachts, spas, and gourmet restaurants. The island even has its own school and small marketplace. Homes here regularly sell for over $20 million. Membership in the Fisher Island Club requires a $250,000 initiation fee, plus annual dues. But for residents, the biggest benefit isn't the luxury. It's security. In a city famous for nightlife and crowds, Fisher Island offers something incredibly rare: complete privacy. 6. Sun Valley, billionaire summer camp. When people imagine billionaire retreats, they often picture tropical islands. But many of the world's richest individuals gather somewhere far colder. Sun Valley, Idaho. This quiet mountain town became famous as America's first destination ski resort back in 1936. Hollywood stars once filled the slopes. Writers like Ernest Hemingway came here for inspiration. But today Sun Valley is famous for something else entirely: the Allen & Company Conference. Every summer, the world's most powerful executives quietly gather here. The event is often called Billionaire Summer Camp. Tech giants, media moguls, and financial titans attend. Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey. Deals worth billions of dollars are discussed on hiking trails and golf courses. The conference itself is private. No journalists, no cameras, just powerful people talking business. The town itself remains small and charming. Luxury ranches surround the valley. The Sun Valley Lodge offers high-end accommodations, spas, and restaurants. But many billionaires prefer private estates hidden among the mountains. Here they can ski, fish, hike, and relax far from Silicon Valley headlines. 7. Alpine, New Jersey, hidden wealth near Manhattan. Only 11 miles from Manhattan lies one of the richest towns in America. Alpine, New Jersey. Yet many New Yorkers have never even heard of it. That's intentional. There is no downtown district. No major commercial centers. Just quiet roads winding through wooded hills. Behind gates and tall trees sit enormous estates. Some exceed 10,000 square feet. Private theaters. Indoor pools. High-tech security systems. Everything designed for privacy. The town itself was incorporated in 1903. Over time it transformed into a residential haven for people who wanted proximity to New York, without the chaos. Today Alpine attracts celebrities, athletes, and financial executives. Past residents have included Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Jay-Z, and Stevie Wonder. Homes average several $1 million. But the real value lies in something else. Distance. From paparazzi. From crowds. From the public eye. 8. Bürgenstock Resort, Switzerland's secret summit. High above Lake Lucerne in Switzerland sits a resort with more than 150 years of history. Bürgenstock Resort. Perched 500 meters above the water, the property offers breathtaking alpine views. But its greatest appeal is discretion. For decades, the resort has quietly hosted royalty, celebrities, and political leaders. In fact, one of the world's most mysterious gatherings has taken place here, the Bilderberg meetings. These invitation-only conferences bring together politicians, business leaders, and academics. The discussions happen completely off the record. What happens there rarely becomes public. After major renovations costing hundreds of millions of dollars, Bürgenstock reopened as one of Europe's most luxurious resorts. Today it includes multiple hotels, private residences, a massive spa complex, golf course, and world-class restaurants. Guests arrive by boat across Lake Lucerne, then take a historic mountain railway to the top. Room rates start around $500 per night, but for the powerful individuals attending private meetings here, the conversations happening behind closed doors may be worth far more. 9. Isla Sá Ferradura, Ibiza's private party island. Off the northern coast of Ibiza lies a tiny private island, Isla Sá Ferradura. Connected to the mainland by a narrow strip of beach, this 14-acre island has been transformed into a luxury playground. The modern estate contains 6 bedrooms and space for 12 guests. But the real attraction lies underground. The island includes a private nightclub hidden beneath the property. Yes, an actual nightclub beneath a private island. Guests can host parties completely invisible to the outside world. The island also features rooftop terraces, pools, spas, and full staff including chefs and security. Weekly rentals start around $200,000. For Europe's elite, it offers something Ibiza itself cannot: absolute privacy. 10. Lanai, the billionaire's Hawaiian island in Hawaii. One island stands apart from all the others. Lanai. 98% of the island is owned by one man, Larry Ellison. The Oracle co-founder purchased the island in 2012 for roughly $300 million. Today Lanai operates almost like a private experiment in luxury and sustainability. 2 Four Seasons resorts provide 5-star accommodations, golf courses, overlook volcanic cliffs. Solar farms and agricultural projects aim to make the island more sustainable. Despite its size, over 140 square miles, Lanai has only around 3,000 residents. Visitors arrive by ferry or small plane from Maui. Many of the island's most exclusive locations require personal invitations, which means that in many ways, Lanai functions as a billionaire's private kingdom. From hidden islands in the Pacific to mountain retreats where billionaires negotiate billion-dollar deals, these places prove one thing. For the ultra-rich, luxury isn't just about expensive hotels. It's about something far more valuable: space, silence, and privacy. Because when you have unlimited wealth, sometimes the greatest luxury is simply disappearing from the world.